come into tech, there are lots of opportunities and there are lots of companies that are waiting to hire you.
Hi Mary, you're a software engineer working remotely from Nigeria, earning in dollars. How did you get into tech?
Okay, so I studied petroleum engineering at the University of Port Harcourt and I graduated in 2015. So after my graduation, I wanted to work in the oil and gas industry and I applied to a lot of oil companies. But I think because of the situation of the oil and gas industry then, it was really hard for me to get a job. So I had to look for a job in other fields, in other, sectors. So I got a job in sales and I was selling printers and laptops. So I was interested in finding out what my customers used the products they bought for. And I asked a lot of questions and I realized that a lot of them were software engineers, some were also designers. So because of my interest in using computers, I went ahead to try to find out what software engineering was all about. And I realized it was something I could actually learn on my own. So I started learning, and while I was learning software engineering on my own, I discovered that I wasn't making as much progress as I wanted to. I didn't even know if I was making any progress. So I decided that I was going to look for a way to structure my learning. So I went into a training that was organized by Decagon. So it was during my training at Decagon where I spent 6 months. I got to solidify my knowledge in software engineering and I got a lot of mentorship as well.
How were you learning before you got into Decagon?
I was learning from YouTube videos and some online learning platforms.
What did you learn at Decagon that makes you a high-valued software engineer?
So at Decagon, I learned leadership skills, I learned communication skills, and there was also a lot of emphasis on the quality of my code. So those were the things that made me stand out.
Could you emphasize more on the mentorship?
Yeah, so we're taught that when building a product, it's very important to take ownership of it. And what that means is that you are able to motivate yourself to work, and as well you're able to motivate your team members to also work and make sure that you meet the targets for that product.
What programming language do you write?
JavaScript.
Can you talk more about it, please?
Yeah, so JavaScript is a programming language that is used mostly by web developers because in tech there are different types of development that you do. So web developers use JavaScript most of the time to build both front-end and back-end code.
Can someone learn this by themselves?
Yes, you can learn JavaScript by yourself. There are lots of resources online, YouTube tutorials, and there are articles you can also use to learn. Yeah.
As a woman in tech, how does it compare to other sectors?
Okay, so in tech, there's a lot of liberty for you to express yourself. So, for example, as a woman, you are not limited to what to wear, what kind of hair to wear. You're free to do whatever you want.
Do you think it's harder for women to thrive in tech compared to other industries?
Oh no, I think it's actually easier. For example, if you're a woman that has children and you want to spend time with your children, you can actually get a remote job where you're able to stay with your children and still be able to work. So it's a lot easier. And another thing is you're at liberty to express yourself, be creative about your appearance. You're not limited to there's no dress code actually, so you're not limited in any way. So it's easier for women in tech.
How easy is it to get a job in tech?
I think it's easy because there are lots of online platforms where you can upload your profile and you get jobs. There are also, for example, LinkedIn. You can actually upload your profile on LinkedIn and a lot of recruiters will be rushing after you. So it's easy, I would say.
How often do recruiters reach out to you in a month?
In a month? Okay, I would say weekly, on a weekly basis. So let me just say like 4 or 5 times a month. Yeah.
For young women out there that want to come into tech, what advice do you have for them?
Oh, I would say they should come. I remember before I got into tech, I watched an interview where a lady was speaking and that was exactly what she said. come into tech. So that's the same thing I'm also saying to women out there. Let them come in. There are lots of opportunities, and there are lots of companies that are waiting to hire you. So why not?
What are the major challenges you faced in the course of learning?
So I would say the ability to be self-disciplined, because a lot of us have to work from home, learn from home. So if you don't have anybody there that will be pushing you, telling you to, oh, it's time to study. No, you have to do all that by yourself. So you have to start learning how to be self-disciplined, how to be self-motivated. So though it was a challenge initially, but at a point I got used to it, because I know that this is the only way it's going to work. You have to motivate yourself.
On average, how much are women making in tech in Nigeria?
Yeah, so you can start earning from 300K to 1 million naira, depending on your stage.
Monthly?
Yeah, monthly.